Okay, I think that we can start with this side event inside the Youth Environmental Assembly 2022. This event is proposed by Climate Social Forum in collaboration with the Poly Foundation, African Network of Youth Leaders for Peace Sustainability, Sustainable Brigade, SDG India, and United Force for Development. So I'm Domenico. I will give now the floor to the moderators of this session, that are Vladislav Malashevsky and Sara Brizzolara. So it will be like an interactive session, and so very welcome to all the speakers and participants. So I'll give the floor to Vladi.
Hi everyone, as Domenico said, I'm Vladislav Malashevsky, and I'm a co-moderator together with Sara Brizzolara. So as Domenico introduced, this is an event in the let's say for a Youth Environmental Assembly, which is taking place in Nairobi together with the UNEP negotiations. Before starting, we would like to take 1 minute of silence for the events that are taking place in Ukraine. And so, yeah. Okay, thank you everybody for this moment, which is also particularly felt by me as I'm Ukrainian. Now we will proceed with the introduction on this event. So as I was saying, this event takes place in the framework of the Youth Environmental Assembly. The Youth Environmental Assembly is an event organized by the YEA, which is the Global Youth Environment Global Youth apologies. The Global Youth Environmental Assembly, which is exactly the the framework we are talking about, is organized by the constituency of children and youth. This constituency is under the UNEP program, has organized many events, and this assembly is one of those. As we were saying, it takes place physically in Nairobi, but it has also many events like this one, which are taking place online. And now, what is the scope of this event? So it is organized by the Climate Social Forum, and the Climate Social Forum is an agora, a virtual agora, which tries to give space for dialogue for people all over the world in order to discuss topics about the climate environmental emergency. It was born already a few years ago, so this year is already the third one. So it's been some time now that we're here. And in the framework of this Youth Environmental Assembly, we wanted to organize this event about the 6 Ps. So as you may know, the event is called, sorry, just, I think we lost the presentation. Can you present it, Domenico, so people can follow better? So yeah, I was saying the event is is a healthier, prosperous, and peaceful planet for humanity, the vision of the Climate Social Forum under the 6 Ps of sustainability. So we will proceed with an introduction about how the Climate Social Forum works, what it is, and what's its mission, what were the outcomes of the previous events. Then we will briefly also talk about the principles of the climate social forums, and this means also talking about Talanoia dialogue, the Talanoia dialogue, and so on. And we will proceed with 3 breakout rooms. Each of these will be about 2 of the 6 Ps. And later we will come back all together to discuss the outcomes of these breakout rooms, and also if anyone has questions or doubts or anything. And also Domenico will explain better some procedures about the UNEP and in general the UN frameworks and so on. So, Sarah, do you think I missed anything, or otherwise we can proceed to explain what is the Climate Social Forum and its outcomes, thanks to Pauline and Julia?
No, you don't have to forget anything. Maybe we can leave the floor to Julia, but have to explain how is the social forum.
I think it's me, Pauline.
Thank you. It's time for Pauline. I will, Pauline, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Pauline Owiti from Kenya. Actually, at YEA grounds, I just arrived this morning. So I'll be taking you through the Climate Social Forum, some of the things we've been doing. So far, our mission at the Climate Social Forum, actually, the Climate Social Forum is a free and inclusive universal assembly. Our goal at the Climate Social Forum is to create a visual agora where activists, citizens, and experts can propose actions and stimulate national governments and local administrations to build an ecologically sustainable future. So how are we doing this? How are we ensuring that the administration or the government build an ecological sustainable future? So with this virtual agora, I'm in the second slide, consists of like online events, that's the web series, the conferences, the virtual meetings that encourage exchange of ideas and proposals. In this space, we want to create a space for dialogue between different realities that can generate shared proposals to be developed at the local level, at the national levels, and also at the global levels. So we have several principles that we follow at the Climate Social Forum. Principle number 1 being the listening principle. This is where it's important to follow everyone's opinion on convergence with their common position. Like you approach an opinion and ensuring that each and every of us opinion is like taken into consideration. And then we have the inclusiveness principle. Here, each vision, even the opposite one, can represent additional information to reach our final solution or even the decision. We have the trust principle. This is where we are told to trust the process. It is not important who arrives before or who arrives after, but it's actually important for us to get there together. We also have the principle of focus on the solution. So no matter how long it may take or it may be, the important thing is for us to have a clear goal. And that's the most important thing. We also have generativity principles. Here is where debates and discussions are the engine of the process, as well as the positive conflict or contrapositions, but they can only be so if something arises from conflict and discussion, and they must be generative. Last but not least, we have the time principle. So here you respect everyone's time. time dedicated to everyone and the time within which an internal or external interaction may be required of a group or an initiative. These also include compliance with internal and external deadlines that have been shared. So at Climate Social Forum, we actually embrace the Talanoa dialogue format of having discussions. So what is Talanoa dialogue? So Talanoa dialogue is a traditional word used in Fiji and throughout the Pacific to reflect an inclusive, participatory, and transparent dialogue process. So the goal of Talanoa is to share stories, build empathy, and make wise decisions for collective goal. It also includes like the process that involves ideas, skills, and experience. So basically it's about like including where we are and like the current state and also where we want to go, looking at our goal and how do we get there, the strategy of like achieving our goal. Climate on the next slide. Looking at our previous Climate Social Forum that happened in 2020, from 18th to 23rd, we embraced a 6P sort of strategy. We had like 6 tracks organized by the information, then to the problem, and then to the solution. So we talked about the economy, the society, the biosphere, and all of that. So I think from this point, is it Domenico will play?
Yes, I'll
the Rise
play
Up Together?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lui è Lucan.
Just one moment.
Quando è arrivato
clearing the way for sanctioned deforestation at an unprecedented rate. The Amazon has regular Earth's environmental cycles for Earth. And its indigenous peoples.
Hope is not passive. Hope is not blah, blah, blah. Hope is telling the truth. Hope is taking action. Hope always comes from the people.
Thank you very much, Domenico. And the video managed to explain what we have done before and also including the 6 Ps we worked on. So on the next slide, the other presenter will be talking about the processes that we took in the previous Climate Social Forums debate. And thank you very much. I'll hand it over back to the facilitator to welcome the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, everybody. My name is Julia, and I'm very happy to be here with you and having the chance of talking about the second part of the activities of the Climate Social Forum. In fact, we have to consider that the 6 long and beautiful days of sharing ideas, of managing and trying to find solutions together to different problems seen from different points of view. Actually, we worked also hard to leave a track of our activities. Actually, throughout these 6 days, we had documents which were opened, and they were draft in order to put together ideas, to put together what we were discussing during those days. And we were discussing about them during the plenary sessions, and at the end of the Climate Social Forum, that was the beginning of the second part of our work. That means the presentation of the proceedings and the outputs. Please, next slide, Domenico, thank you. And in this slide, you can see the QR code that you can use to access to the outputs and proceedings documents we could create after the Climate Social Forum. And they are in Common Creative, so feel free to use the materials. And that's we did all of it in order that there was no blah 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 during our sessions, and so we could keep tracks of whatever was discussed during the CSF. Please. The proceedings and the output contain, first of all the speeches of the speakers that took part during these sessions. So we have the bios of our speakers, an abstract of what they dealt about, and the link to the YouTube channel of Climate Social Forum in order to have the chance to listen again their speech. And then the second part of these proceedings contain the results of the Talanoa dialogues, so the answers that we tried to give all together to the issues we dealt about. Thank you. Extra documents on our outputs are about the marketplace and the add-ons. So the beauty of this Climate Social Forum is also having the chance to meet so many associations, so many volunteers, so many activists, and all. And so there are extra materials to get to know realities and associations a little better, a little deeper, and in order to create a partnership, to create synergies, and to cooperate, because alone we have problems, but together we have solutions. And so here you can have some information about the ways to join our beautiful community. So we have a Facebook group and a Facebook page to be updated on our activities. And you can join us in different ways. You can be a single volunteer. You can be a speaker, so to share your ideas and your solutions during our events. You can join as an organization, as a group, or you can also sponsor us. We communicate through different channels. So we have emails, Slack, WhatsApp groups, and so we do our best to keep in touch and to keep working all together. So I give the floor to Domenico, and thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Just to
Thank
briefly remind
Julia. Yeah, go ahead, Domenico, sorry.
No, just to say that you can join different channels, the community. Just wanted to say that, and then give the floor to Vladi to eventually give the speech to Jean. Okay, maybe in the meanwhile, we can give the floor to Jin Tanaka if he's in. I don't think so, but okay, so we can move to the breakout rooms. So one of the very nice thing of the interaction of Climate Social Forum is that we are dealing also with the common discussion, and we are trying also to like involve the participant into the methodology that we call Talanoa dialogue. So we'll go a little bit back on the slide regarding Talanoa to say how it works, and then we can open some breakout rooms. We used the same model that we proposed for the last session of Climate Social Forum, that were the 6 Ps. So you can choose now, when the breakout room are open, 3 breakout rooms in which you will discuss among the 6 Ps model. So the first one will be on planet and people. The second one will be on prosperity and peace. The third one will be on purpose and partnership. I invite you to engage the discussion on the 3 questions that are: where we are, where do we want to go, and how do we get there. So we have been will be shared also some documents in which you can take notes about the discussion. So just give me 1 minute to prepare and set up the breakout rooms, and then I'll invite you to have a very nice discussion also with some of our speakers of the Climate Social Forum. I didn't mention, but today also in the call, there are some of speakers of the previous session of Climate Social Forum to celebrate with us the outputs and also this event inside YEA. We have Eric Brenes, we have Paulino Witty that have been one of the speakers also. We have been Francesco Postiglione, that I greet them all. I don't know if you want to say a few words before starting, guys. Eric, Pauline, and Francesco.
Gracias. Very happy to be here and sharing some of my experiences.
Thank you. Francesco, to you. Okay, so now I'm gonna create the 3 breakout rooms. So you can select the one that you want to go. So 1 moment.
By the way, thank you, Domenico, for catching up. I got disconnected randomly. Don't know what happened, but yeah, thank you.
No worries. So I'm opening them. You can select the ones that you want to go. So I invite you to choose one of them and to participate in discussion with our speaker and friends.
And just about the proceedings. So if any of you can don't see anything popping up, you can see in the bottom part secondary sessions. There's like 4 squares. Click on that and you can move there. Thank you. I see some other people that have to move.
You know, you can go also bloody and see here.
Okay.
Blood.
Eccomi.
Ti ho mandato nell'altra, nella seconda, se vuoi andare lì. Giulia, ti ho mandato l'invito per un... Okay, okay. I saw that you are gradually welcome back. I do all now. Let's wait also the other friends from another few seconds. Okay, welcome back to all. I hope that you had a fruitful discussion. I saw that also some friends that joined, Never. I saw Joel that I didn't see before. Hi Joel, welcome, and thank you for being here. So maybe I hope that you had a fruitful discussion, of course, and I want to know. I wasn't participating because I want to know from you now how the discussion has gone. So for the first breakout room that was more on people and planet, who wants to speak out and like tell all the audience what you discussed? I don't know, Sarah, if you want to wrap up and also the other colleagues can.
Yeah, I was at the first breakout room and we talk about the three questions. The first one, the solutions are that since we were COVID started, things changed. There are many uncertainties, and right now we are on a track where there's a lot of uncertainty. People are not connected in the way they were before the pandemic, and everything is more hybrid. And Eric said that we have to understand more Mother Nature to avoid future pandemic crisis and to maybe try to solve the climate crisis. So we want to go and we want to create a word. Maybe I think it's so difficult, but we want to try to make a word that different culture and thoughts are combined and can deal together. And we want to get there, connecting people in our cities and in the most different ways. So physically, emotionally, and physically, sorry. Promoting also the indigenous knowledge and connecting through history and literature. Also with education and other development issues, and everyone can contribute, so everyone can do something and counts. So we should think this thing holistically. So
Thank you, Sarah. I don't know if the other members of the first breakout room wants to say something and add something.
yeah, I don't know if Eric or Tuarita want to add something to our outputs.
Can you? Yes. No, I think it's really, for me, it was really interesting to see, I forgot the name of the lady from India, that for her, education is very important. And for me as well, but also what are we learning? What we call science. For me, that's one of the main conclusions from her perspective, what we call science, because what we are calling science is causing a lot of trouble to a lot of people. And in the last 2 or 3 years have been another kind of science, let's call it empirical, that I'm not saying is right, but I'm just saying is different. And considering the kind of challenges we have as a planet, it is about time to start listening to other way of thinking. That's probably one of the main outcomes for me.
Thank
I'm sorry.
But what I was trying to say is that like during the pandemic times, how the education system has changed. More in the starting of the pandemic, it had become online, and now it is shifting towards hybrid. Like a part of it is online, a part of it is like going. So the indigenous communities from slum areas, if we go and teach them and tell them that why education is important and how it nurtures your everything like holistic development. So basically their basically if they are perceiving education in a way which is not different from how the upper class is perceiving, and how those with the wealth concentration are perceiving, because they have besides what I said, like they have also digital systems, a well packed facilities, and they have access to many other foreign universities and everything. So what I see that where we are is that the indigenous people are still need to get developed in good the HG3, the quality education. So I guess the education system should be proportionate among all the people.
Thank you, Tuarika, for the very insightful and useful also framing this. It's very true that the education system has very changed from this pandemic, and now we are also doing new ways, to consider science, also in my opinion, as Eric was addressing. So thank you for your work and your efforts in going deep into the questions. Thank you very much. So I don't know if there is any other inputs from the first breakout room, even though I will ask to the members of the second breakout room to expose their discussion.
Oh, thank you very much, everyone. So on our breakout room, we were talking about prosperity and peace. And then we got a short presentation on what Joel is doing with regards to peace and how that is leading to prosperity, and like how they are engaging the community, and so far what they have achieved, which is amazing and fantastic. So Elaine got to talk about how Rwanda is engaging or has become a peaceful country after, even though they had like several fights before, and how they are involving their neighbors and the programs they have to keep peace. And with that, the policies they have that apply at both starting at the local level to the national level, and how that has improved on the tourism sector within their country. Then Francisco got to talk about how there's the current situation that is going on in Europe when it comes to peace and the war that is going on between Ukraine and Russia, and gave out suggestions of how such things can be avoided. And then we also talked about the national policies that are there, especially in Rwanda, that are up to 2024 that other countries could also embrace, and how it has embraced gender inclusion when it comes to the 60% of women representation in different like opportunities. So we had like several suggestions when it comes to abolishing the UN Security Council and not having like permanent member states, and reforming such sectors. But we had like two people that had suggestions that never got opportunity because the time was limited. That is Vitali, if you would love to talk. I don't know how to pronounce that. And also Dr. Sudhir. Welcome if you have more. Thank you.
Thank you to you, Pauline. Yes, also if the other of the group, Julia, Dr. Joshi, Joel, if you want to add something, and also Aline.
Hello, everyone.
IEA.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, as I said, thank you, Aline, for the report, and also thank you also for all the member of the group. So as we said, yeah, the situation is the same concerning peace. We have a lot of conflict. And when we see Africa, we see also what is happening in Europe. We notice that conflict is a reality. And yes, countries try to solve this issue, but we have not arrived to the extent where we can say the global community or the international community can really act. When if we take, for instance, a problem of in Africa, you have, when we go in the West Africa, you see all the conflicts that are happening. Yes, we have Boko Haram, we have terrorist group. And as we said, they are majorly linked to the nature loss and also the rise of the increase of the climate change. And then, so because when we have nature loss, and we have the increase of temperature. So people try to fight, yes, they try to fight for their survival. And we have now the politics that enter in the matters and makes that the situation becomes worse. And when the government are not able, I'm talking about the situation in Africa, when the government are not really able to satisfy the needs of the community, then what happens? So we have terrorist group that enters, and then we have all the situation that we can have here in Africa. So if we take, for instance, the case of Europe, or Francesco talked about the case of the UN. So we have had already that discussion. Yes, I think also that it is really important because when we talk about the UN, we are talking about the international community. So when we see what is happening in various countries, not only in Europe, but it's even in Africa, where, for instance, if I take the example of the case of Libya, where when the UN was supposed to act, it did not act. And we arrived to a situation where Gaddafi, that was called a dictator, was put down and also was killed. So what happened then? After that, we have a flow of migration of Africans that are going to Europe. Yes, also the right to migrate is also a human right. So we have this situation where we have countries, we have internal institution that are talking about, yes, human rights, but are not really at a certain time to really to ensure the respect. And if we take also, I share the opinion of Francesco when he told that we need to reform the UN system, because yes, it is an old institution that does not really answer to the needs of today. So it is really important. So we cannot have a Security Council that is constituted of 5 member states, and we don't have Africa, for instance, there. And we just have just recently talking about what is happening in Mali. So the West Africa community, they say they are, so they wanted to, they took a resolution that was not able really to succeed. Yes, because Russia and China did not accept it. You know that Mali, when actually Mali is governed by people that took power and they overthrown the former president. So this is a reality. So we really need UN. The UN system must have at least one African country. Africa is a continent that is not represented in UN. So if we really want peace, I think that it is important that the UN security be really inclusive. So we have America is represented in the UN security system. All the continents are represented in the UN security system, but not Africa. And this is a reality. So the situation is really, I should say, it is really complex. Yes, it may be because of the I should say the definition even of peace, because peace is not something that you can really have it like that. So it is something we must fight for. We must fight for peace, and it is not something we cannot say that we have peace forever, even if at a certain moment of our existence we may feel like we are in peace. Aline talked about the example of Rwanda. Yes, we have seen how Rwanda has made a lot of effort, how they passed through to war, and how they are making their best to be developed. But it is talking about peace, we just see maybe some little example like that. But if we want really to talk about peace to reach the sustainable development goal, I think that there are a lot of effort that must be done regionally, that must be done even internationally. And that calls the role even of international institutions, yes, to revise their framework, even their objective, and to make it to fit to the reality of today. The reality of today is a reality of, yes, the nature degradation that is increasing, conflict that are increasing, and these countries that are member of the UN security, but that continue to sell weapons and that are avoiding conflicts in many countries. But that is the reality, because we cannot say that we are promoting, for instance, the sustainable development goals and acting contrary in the other side. We say something openly, but behind we do the contrary. So this is the reality. So yes, organizations, civil society organizations are doing their best to include, yes, as the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, that acts to include women and girls, and as the UN Security Council 2250, that has to include children and young people. That is what we are doing. So yes, organizations are making their best to include, to involve, and also to advocate toward government, yes, to change the policies and also to adapt the policy for more peace, and also to make that, yes, entrepreneurship be a reality for young people to have job and all these things. But this will not be really consistent if the international community does not really take its responsibility, if the UN system is not, for instance, revised, and also if at the continental level, various sub-regions does not really act as they must act. So that is, we will have, yes, we will have a lot of legal document, we'll have a lot of declaration, we will have a lot of resolution, but that will not have a lot of impact as awaited. And they will have, yes, people that will continue to suffer. We will have also a lot of indigenous community that will see their right be violated. Because when we talk about indigenous communities, yes, the reality is that their land has either a lot of forests or a lot of minerals. And we have, yes, all those oil companies that act that sometimes are authorized to exploit their land and also their resources, with the government that are not really doing something to make that the communities get benefit of the exploitation, and also that exploitation of the natural resources really be done in accordance to environmental rules. So that is what I can add. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you, Joel. Thank you for your speech. I think that now we can wrap up all these inputs. One of the mission of this event is then to propose to the Youth Environmental Assembly also a position paper after the event, and we will gather all these inputs from your intervention and your interaction together. Then we will share also with you the documents, and we will propose also to the Youth Environmental Assembly. So now we're gonna go to the conclusion of the event, and there are two last parts that we are gonna make. One is very funny, that is a game that we have prepared for interact with you, also to, like, in a way, resume all the information that we gathered together. It's a very simple game, so I will share now my screen, and I will send the link to join. You can join. It's a like interactive game with Kahoot. I don't know if you ever see the platform, but I will share my screen to let you see. Okay, here we are. So you can go to the address that is here, that is www.kahoot.it. I will share also in the chat, and you can digit the game pin that is on the screen. So just join with the number. So I'm waiting before starting the game. Okay, Julia, Tuarita, I saw that you are joining. Okay, let's go, let's go. So also the ones that are not joining, let's go so we can start. You can just reach the address that is www.kahoot.it, and then you can put the code, the PIN number, that is 5099260. So I invite you all to join. More we are, more fun it is. Okay, another minute to join. So Joel, Pauline, if you want to. Okay, I saw that Joel is joining. Another minute and then we can go. Just another participant more. Aline, if you want to join, you can just digit www and then the number. Okay, 30 seconds and we are gonna start. It's very simple, so don't be shy to join.
I'm trying to join too.
Okay. So
It's
we are waiting.
www. Sorry.
It's in the chat, sorry.
Yeah.
I share with all. So we are waiting for Aline and start. Let me know, Aline, if you have been able to join. We wait for you, Aline, and then we can start. Okay, here we are. So
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's super simple, but be fast. Also the time in which you respond will make you some points. So this is very simple. You can just select the response on your device where you're there. Okay. Okay. Let's see who is going. The first place for the first question. Okay. Giulia and Twarita are there. So let's go to the next question.
Domenico,
Yeah.
mi spiace, devo andare via. Ho un
Okay.
appuntamento.
Thank you very much, Eric, for joining with us. Thank you. And see you the
Looking
next one.
forward for next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Oh, Julia is running on. So in the meanwhile, I very greet Jean that is joining. Hi, Jean. Here. Let's go to the next. So Joel and Aline, let me know if you have some problem in responding.
Yes, I don't see the questions very well. Okay, now it's okay.
So we are now in UNEP Stockholm plus 50, and so a question about that can be tricky, but is intuitive. You have to use your. Okay, just one answer. Let's see who's answered. Oh, no, two answers. Sorry. This time no one is getting the right answer, but Stockholm plus 50 is like the 50th anniversary of the first UNEP meeting that give born then to UNEP itself. So it was the first meeting for making an agency for that. So let's go to the last one. What UNEP stands for? Okay. So Holler has responded. Let's see who. Yeah, the right one was the UN Environmental Protection. So let's go to see the scores. Yeah, Julia and Twarita are a little bit upper, but never mind. And Aline also joined. So let's see.
I had a lot of problem to.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not really able to play.
So you have to just on your device you see the answer. You can see the answer on my screen.
On the screen, yes, but not in my device.
Yeah, no, you can see on the screen, and then you can just select your answer on when it's
on the screen of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, let's see. Okay, we have finished, but okay, it was just a game just to interact and fix some concept. Let's see who is the winners and who is the scores. Oh, Tuarita is joined and winning. Thank you very much, Tuarita, for being part, and congratulations.
Thanks all.
You have win the little competition about Climate Social Forum here at this Youth Environmental Assembly. And for now, apart this small game, then we can close this meeting, and I will give back the floor to Vladi and Sarah. But before closing, guys, I saw that Jean is also coming. Jean Tanaka, that maybe we can give the floor to him. He's also member of UNEP and GCY, and so let's see if Jean can connect. Hi, Jean. Yeah, hi, Jean, welcome.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for joining.
Thanks so much. So, hello, this is Jim, and I'm so good to be here. Okay, I'm going to turn on the videos. So, as we know, there's a climate social, and so here's now I'm at a YEA session, and there's many youth movement, and we have the possibility to change the world. So I'm willing to tell you you have the power and potentials to do something in the society. So please follow to the climate social forums, and we can make that change, and we can make a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jean. So as you understand, Jean is there in UNEA 5.2 negotiation in Nairobi. Actually, the Youth Environmental Assembly has been in parallel with the UNEA 5 negotiation in Nairobi. On this chance, a lot of youths as Jean and other have been properly there in Nairobi. So thank you, Jean, for being with us, and have a good work there, and let's foster on with the youth power there. So the floor now to Vladi and Sarah to conclude.
Hi, I don't know where is Vladi also, but I think we can say thanks to everyone who decided to participate today at the dialogue. I hope we will keep in touch with the Climate Social Forum social network, and maybe we can we can find us in other events about the climate change. And I'm so happy because today we have a really rich discussion with people from all around the world. So thank you for all. I don't know if you have to add something, Domenico, but
I just share in the chat the way to connect with the Climate Social Forum.
Okay, thank you.
So you can go to that link, and also I will share my screen to reach the website on how to become part of Climate Social Forum. You can join, as we see, as volunteer, as an organization, as eventually speaker if you want to be speaker. We are giving space to also that so-called unconventional speaker. We don't want only super famous persons, but also experts that can say something. We have been a rich discussion today with a lot of friends from different countries and different organizations, and so this is properly the way on how Climate Social Forum is working, is to connect people, create the virtual space for encounter different realities. So here is the website. You can join here. You have the link there, and you can reach out also to us by the email that maybe I leave into the chat. So thank you to all again. Thank you, Sarah and Vladi, for moderating.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating to this session. It was a pleasure, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, all.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you all.
Bye.